December 2024, as we were heading into the peak season for exports in Cape Town, Transnet approached us with the potential challenges that they were facing and asked if the sector can do anything to assist. During the peak seasons, when disruptions occur according to wind or climatic conditions or whatever the case might be, you have a bottleneck at the port where essentially if you can't load the ships fast enough, you can't receive additional containers as you can't plug them in and keep them refrigerated. So where this project initiated from was to try and create additional plug point capacity on a temporary basis for the season so that producers wouldn't have to reroute at a great cost either to alternative port or send it back to storage. During this crisis, Transnet approached Agbiz and the industry to see what kind of assistance we could lend.
The production areas in the Western Cape are located in such a way that Port of Cape Town is the best node to convey cargo to foreign markets. And if you look spatially at the Western Cape from citrus in the west right through to table grapes in the central areas and apples in the east, Port of Cape Town is the best node for exports and also has expertise in the cold chain. So that Port of Cape Town serves this function not for the Western Cape only, but for fruit production throughout South Africa. You will understand that imports are also critical elements, especially for those agricultural producers, if you think of packing material and farming equipment. So the cost of their production is determined by the distance that they have to bring their imports along. So Port of Cape Town serves all those functions and has served it excellently in the past, and we hope to get to those performance levels again.
Cape Town Container Terminal is a very important point for exports for all deciduous fruit. And the fact that we can get things to market as quickly as possible helps maintain South Africa's competitive advantage and shows that we can deliver product in the required quality that meets global customer needs. So this terminal was selected because during the peak deciduous export weeks, there's increased volume that needs to move through the port. And having these extra generators provide an opportunity to help increase the capacity, but it also really helps us with the wind. The wind can be a challenge, especially during the peak export weeks. And the generator enables us to have a third stack, which means that we can offload and unload the ships at the same time, and that just speeds up the pace at which things can happen. This public sector-private partnership initiative was the first of its kind at the container terminal. That is a milestone, and it showed us the benefits that we can achieve when we work together towards a common goal. So as SATI, we are really pleased to have been a participant in this project, and we look forward to further public-private collaboration opportunities where we can cement South Africa's position as a reliable supplier to the global markets.
The fruit industry plays a very important part into our total business with Transnet. It's a very important stakeholder. And what we've done, we have embarked on the journey to walk with the fruit industry players, to understand the value chain, from the fruit from the farm right onto the vessel and ultimately to the end market. We've started to collaborate with regards to how can we improve things within the value chain. It's a condensed period where the fruit gets exported, and Transnet plays a very pivotal role in ensuring that the product gets to market. And what we've started to discuss is how can we do things better? How can we collaborate? Or where can we work together to make the value chain better? And with these generators coming into the fold, it started as a concept, it started as a discussion point, and understand where the bottlenecks could be within the season. And that is where it started to say, how can we work together? This is just one way where we can work together, and it's amazing how the fruit industry and the Western Cape government actually came together to support us. And it went very quick, and I can see this as a success. But it's amazing what collaboration can do whilst we talk, whilst we have a transparent process for the benefit of all.
So the concept that Transnet approached us with was that there was space available within the container terminal, but no plug points and infrastructure to be able to supply it with electricity. So the concept entailed renting two 500 kilowatt generators that would power 120 additional plug points for the peak season.
The Cape Town Container Terminal has an installed capacity of reefers of about 3,200 reefer plug points. And these reefer plug points are located in two main areas, which is the West Coast and Block 501. And that poses a challenge for the terminal in the event where you have multiple activities that are competing for these stacks. When you have a vessel or three vessels loading or discharging to these particular areas, you have rail, you also have open export stack. And the acquisition of two of these gensets assisted the terminal in alleviating that pressure, creating fluidity and flexibility. And we have seen the improvement in our vessel turnaround time as well as our volumes. And looking at the volumes that we have shipped out of the country this year compared to last year, we have seen a significant growth, as well as the volumes that we have handled through the rail, refurb volumes. We have seen a growth, which is a good achievement for the terminal. We really appreciate the support that we have received from the industry and also from our Western Cape government, because if it was not for this flexibility that we have had in our stake, we wouldn't have achieved what we have achieved.
In public-private partnerships, the government plays a crucial role in ensuring success. They establish the regulatory framework, ensuring compliance and with laws and standards, which acts as facilitators, bringing together private sector expertise and public sector needs. So there's various government benefits when we have PPPs which are significant. Some of these includes that it's cost-effective by efficiency in terms of leveraging private sector investment and expertise. There's access to private sector expertise in terms of quality and efficiency of public services and infrastructure, like at the Port of Cape Town. It improves service delivery, which is another key benefit. So this is with regards to the competition and performance-based incentives, which ensures that the projects are completed on time and within budget. Additionally, PPPs stimulate economic development by attracting private sector investment, creating jobs, and improving the infrastructure. Lastly, collaboration with the private sector fosters innovation. It brings new technologies and solutions to public sector projects. So some of this is a good example of what we've achieved with regards to the Port of Cape Town Genset project. And this resulted in a space where we could collaborate with Transnet as well as the fruit industry and the different value chain in terms of our exporters. It created a space where we could get different levels of investment and co-funding for the generators, and this achieved those benefits in terms of the PSP model at the Port of Cape Town to ensure the benefit of supporting exporters from the Western Cape.
The project was essentially born out of a crisis, but it can serve as a very valuable pilot to be replicated in other areas of the country. To mitigate losses, this project was essentially funded through donations from the export-orientated agricultural industry and exporters. If we were to replicate this in other areas of the country, one would need a proper cost recovery mechanism to make it sustainable.
As Fresh Produce Exporters Forum, we have partnered with Transnet and work closely together from mapping processes, sharing information, and we wanted to take it the extra step to be part of the solution. We want to contribute in a way that's meaningful, and working with the generators, working with the port directly links up with what we do, fruit exports. It was definitely a learning curve for everybody involved. I think from the fruit grouping, having to work together to get all the money in place, all the arrangements with procuring the generators, and then of course getting to know the port, how to work with them, what they need, what we need, and just fine-tuning as we're going along. So I think it set a good baseline for future collaborations, and we have to take the learnings and see what we can build. I think we do want to go bigger and better.
As Ortco, we are very excited about this partnership that was established with Transnet. From the start, we were realized and we were realistic that it's not the silver bullet that would solve all the problems we have in the port, as there are multiple interventions needed to solve the complex issues that we do encounter in the port. But it was a welcome intervention, great to pave the way in terms of partnership with Transnet, and it did create extra capacity for reefer boxes to be plugged in, and also alleviate some of the pressure in the peak weeks, and particularly when the port was windbound or fogbound, it created that additional capacity to plug in and save the industry, I think, a lot of cost. So definitely worth the investment if you look at the savings that were generated by this project.
At Agrimark, we live by a mantra that our customers should be better off because we exist. We've had long-standing relationships dating back as far as 1995 with our producers. Public and private partnerships in projects like this is of serious importance to support our farmers in their financial well-being. It is for these reasons that we will definitely take part in projects like this in the future again.
We wish to thank both Transnet as well as the funding partners for the good collaboration that made this project possible, and we do hope it will serve as an example of what can be done going forward.